Have you always wanted to learn how to juggle? Well, welcome to
Juggling 101. My name's Teresa, and today I'm going to teach you how to juggle. So, the first step is to gather your equipment.
So before you can start juggling, what you need is something to juggle. My favorite thing to use is bean bags. However, I know not everyone has bean bags. The main goal for the things that you're juggling are that you want them all to be the same size, you want them all to weigh about the same amount, and you want them to kind of be a little bit squishy so you can catch them easily. So I'm going to show you something that I used to do before I had bean bags. So what I would do is I would actually take a clean pair of socks. So I would roll this up into a little ball, just one of them, and then I would stretch the other sock over the ball, twist it, and then stretch it over again, and it would make a small squishy ball, just like a beanbag. So if you have 3 identical pairs of socks, you can juggle those too.
The next step is to practice throwing. So, to start, what you're going to want to do is take one ball and just toss it from one hand to the other and then back again. This is just to get you comfortable with the balls that you're using and to get you comfortable with proper throwing technique.
First step, you're going to be tossing the ball from one hand to the other. You're going to try to make sure that the ball just lands in your hand and you're not reaching really far to catch it. So if you're having a hard time with it, like I always do, what you can try to do is go against a wall and throw it up and down in front of the wall. So that way if it goes way off into the distance, it will bounce off the wall and come back to you.
The next step is to learn the pattern. If you've ever watched someone juggle, you see that they throw the balls in a very specific way. The way you do this is you toss from the front of one hand to the back of the other. So in this case, we're going to toss the yellow ball from the front of the right hand to the back of the left hand, letting the blue ball slide forward so that way we can toss the red ball from the front of the left hand to the back of the right hand. Let the yellow ball slide forward, toss the blue one from the front of the right hand to the back of the left hand. And this pattern just keeps going, front to back, front to back. Don't worry about throwing multiple balls in the air at one time yet. We're going to get to that after. But for right now, we just want to learn the pattern.
So for the pattern, you're tossing from the front of your right hand to the back of your left hand, letting it roll forward in your right hand, tossing from the front of your left hand to the back of your right hand. So you want to practice this until you're comfortable with it. Again, you don't want to be reaching for the ball across the room, and you also want to make sure that the ball's just landing nicely in your hand without you moving too much. So when you get confident with it, it should look kind of like this. See, I make mistakes too, but it's all about practice.
Speaking of practice, the next step is going to be to speed it up a little bit and practice even more. So once you feel comfortable, it should look kind of like this, where you're effortlessly kind of tossing one to the other hand, and you're pretty comfortable with this. You're not dropping the ball as you do a couple cycles. The next step is going to be to try to toss one ball while the other one's halfway in the air. So in this case, when your first ball is halfway in the air, which is the yellow ball, you're going to want to toss the red ball from your left hand. The blue ball is going to slide forward into your right hand, letting you have the red ball land in your right hand at the back. Again, when the blue ball is halfway in the air, you're going to want to toss the yellow ball. Have the red one slide forward and the yellow one landing in the back of your right hand. So basically, as soon as one ball has been tossed from a hand and is halfway in the air, you're going to want to throw the ball from the other hand as soon as it reaches that halfway point, just like I showed you in the animation.
So you're probably wondering what this is going to look like with an actual person. Well, first you're going to want to throw the second ball when the first one's halfway in the air. So throw, throw, catch. Once you're confident with that and you've practiced that a bit, you're going to want to do a full cycle like I just showed you with the animation. So show, throw, catch. And again, everyone makes mistakes. It's okay to drop the balls. It's all about practice. So once you can do a full cycle like that, you just want to keep going. So it's going to look like, and eventually you'll be juggling. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope you learned something.